Huge news today. I absolutely love this quote by Eric, and this gives me a lot more confidence in what we've been doing as far as progress in the Q3 for sales and our, of course, bypassing the FDA approval dilemma, getting past that problem. This is how we're doing it, and I absolutely love what we've seen here. And then we have this. I don't know 100% if this is legit. However, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is probably legit. Let's just assume, for the sake of this video, that this is legit and this is amazing news. This guy was actually talking to our friend Michael, the legend himself. He's a legend now because he did this. He's doing great due diligence. He talked to the freaking chief medical officer of Praxis Genomics, which, as you guys know, is one of the labs and institutions that is doing the PLA codes for us. As you can see right there, Praxis optical genome mapping. Boom, right there. And these ones become effective in October 1st to be exact. I think this is big news. We have a quote here, and I also want to say, I think the volume of Q3 Saphyr, the consumable revenue, is probably going to be pretty good based on this alone. Okay, and I say make your own opinion on this. I'm not saying we're going to get a huge. I'm not saying we're going to go to the moon for sure. Although I do think we are. Okay, it's just I do think we are with the company that has a product like this. Until something changes with the superiority of greater than 500 base pair detection in SVs, we're always going to have a huge market until that changes. So. And there's zero sign, and it's extremely unlikely that that's going to change. So that's why I do think we're going to moon eventually. Anyways, back to the news today, right? So this is huge. This is absolutely huge. We're going to go over the quote here, but we also have the damn, we also have institutional ownership increasing by like 5%, like that. Again, the institutional ownership is skyrocketing. It doesn't stop. Like it's just perennially increasing. It doesn't stop. 6 million shares added by the freaking Russell 2000. And I also want to freaking tell you why it's important that we go over the marketing. And I know so many people probably find it boring that I'm talking about a damn marketing campaign when we're looking at stock here that we want to go up. Today, I want to give you a specific example on why stuff like this is important. And then also recapping the earnings, and we'll do a little bit of technical analysis today. And starting off with the big news. So this is huge. This is absolutely huge. Let's just go ahead and read what this is here. It's announcing the ES HG lineup, the upcoming event presentation that we've been talking about, right? If we go right here, we've known about this for a while. We've been talking about this forever. That's not what's interesting. What is interesting is the quote at the bottom, all right? We can go, I'm going to do some research on the affiliations, all the research labs. There may be a couple new Saphyr adoptions hidden in here. I don't know for sure about that, so I'm not going to tell you for sure if we have one of those or not yet. But what I will say is that I could not be more happy with what Eric just said here. We believe our progress in Europe with the increased awareness of optical genome mapping and the development of the market there has been outstanding. I love it. I love it. Thanks to key sites like Radboud, Leuven, and Koshin. However, I probably got all three of those pronounced wrong. The OGM footprint is now expanded in Germany, Spain, Italy. The growing installed base of Saphyr in Europe. With that, we have seen these institutions and the research teams conduct groundbreaking research. That's a freaking underline right there. That's actually a circle. That's beautiful. Groundbreaking research. He usually doesn't say that. He usually doesn't say that at all. We have seen these institutions and the research teams conduct groundbreaking research. So they already have, and this is kind of ambivalent to what he says at the end here, which really gets me speculating and feeling very optimistic. But we'll see what happens. Anything can happen. Make your own opinions. Don't let me give you false hope, right? Some people think I'm just giving the hopium, providing the hopium to all the people that are holding the bag. I'm just telling you what I think about the company. Okay, and this is what I think. This is a great freaking quote here. So let's keep going. To demonstrate the potential utility of OGM as an alternative to traditional cyto methods, yada yada. We already know this, right? I do like that they say the identification of SVs it's going to be more sensitive. It's going to be a faster time to results, and the key here, less expensive to implement when compared to those other methods. I like that the CEO is on record recently for saying that we are better in every single way than the other methods, and specifically because we're cheaper, right? And that's the one area where it's debatable, or at least where it has been in the past, on Saphyr versus other methods, right? We've seen Simon Burnett say the cost of goods sold is not that good, and the cost per sample is not that good for Saphyr. I tried to debate him on that. We really didn't get anywhere, but I've been saying for a while. The company claims that they are less expensive than the other methods, and we've got no reason not to believe them. When the peer-reviewed studies back this up, when everything we see publication-wise is saying the exact same thing. And you can see right here that this CEO himself comes out and says clearly He gives us a straight record. We are, or yeah, he says, and be less expensive to implement when compared to traditional methods. I love it. And then look right here. This is where it's kind of contradictory and hypocritical almost. We believe the momentum, same thing I guess, of research that has been building will continue as more supporting data, like the data that we expect the researchers to show this week at the event, are released from around the world. I don't really know why he says expect when he says up here we've seen groundbreaking research from these institutions. And these are some of these institutions are the ones that are actually presenting. You can see right there, there's Leuven, however you pronounce it. So he says, thanks to these 3 sites, there's been groundbreaking research in these institutions and their research teams conduct groundbreaking research. Those that he just mentioned, 2 out of 3 of them are going to be presenting. You can see right here, there's the Radboud University, and then the Leuven one is right underneath it, or Leuven, right? They are right there. So I'm a little bit confused why he's saying expect, but nonetheless, I think nonetheless this is going to be a great marketing opportunity and great sales and chain reaction sort of thing that could be instigated by this event. And I think it's amazing that we're seeing a big amount of a huge number of presenters, and I especially like that there's a variety of presenters here. I think there's only 1 or 2 repeat presentation, like repeat institutions doing 2 presentations. The only one that I'm seeing is this. I could be missing this, okay, but I think this is the only one. Bambino, whatever the hell that, however you say that. I think that's the only one that's doing 2 of them. And that's good because we want there to be no repeats, because we want as many institutions as possible to have bought the Saphyr or done a rental agreement, came to an agreement with the company on a rental deal. So I love this. I absolutely love this. Many of these are going to be new Saphyr adoptions, at least some of them. I haven't seen, this is just off the top of my head. I haven't researched this fully, and even if I were to research it fully, I couldn't know for sure most of the time. But some of these are going to be new Saphyr adoptions, and this gives me more confidence in the Q3 outlook, revenue-wise, sale-wise, because this is the reason, if you're confused, if you don't follow us, there's a ton of different institutions that are presenting on the Saphyr's use. If these institutions, if we haven't seen them before, if you and I haven't seen them use the Saphyr before and give and put stuff out about their findings, there's a good chance that they bought the Saphyr sometime recently. There's a good chance. I'm not saying for sure. There's a good chance, though. That's for sure. Okay, there's definitely a good chance for it. At least for some of these to be new Saphyr adoptions, and I like this. Obviously, I'm not even going into what they're going over here, but it's amazing. And most of this is the same old, but the quote about groundbreaking research and the fact that some of this stuff is very specific, like hyper specific and peculiar, right? They don't typically say the presentation / poster titles are very unique, right? To me. So not really this one, right? The FSHD detection, not really that one, but some of them are. So maybe there really is going to be groundbreaking research like the CEO says. I don't know. But going on to the next piece of news today. I love this. Okay, I'm assuming that this is true. Fact check. If this is wrong, if this is false information, and you can disprove this, please tell me. But for the time being, I'm gonna assume this is legit. Okay, so right here, he's talking to Peter Nagy, which is he works at Praxis Genomics, right? He's basically asking him, do you have any comments? Okay, yada yada. Let's just go to what he says. All right, so now we have the codes. The PLA codes. We need to convince clinicians to order these tests, and we also need insurance companies to reimburse the cost of testing based on the codes. Okay, this is likely the hard part of the introduction of novel testing technologies. Kindest regards. I like this for a couple reasons. The first thing that jumps to my mind, correct me if I'm stupid and if I'm totally off, but this is just the first thing that jumps to my mind. They need to straight up convince them, persuade them, use the Axis sign, right? If there's anyone that plays Witcher 3, to clinicians to order these tests. They need to freaking get the Saphyr used more and get these PLA codes in the Saphyr. They need to get this stuff to be ordered a lot by the clinicians, to my understanding. What does that mean? That means more revenue, baby. That means more rental agreements, more consumables, and more kits and flow cells being used and sent out there to the consumers. This is beautiful. More capital purchases potentially, right? I mean, this is in the aggregate, you would be likely to see that increase in proclivity for that increase based on the increased demand because they're trying to convince more clinicians to order the tests. They weren't doing this before we had the codes. Now we do. So I like this. I like this a lot. And then he also says, as we said earlier, this is likely the hard part. It is the hard part. Reimbursements is a big problem. That's why I call it a dilemma. The FDA approval problem is a dilemma, man. There's not a clear option. There's two different choices where it's like, well, do you want to do the FDA approval route? It's a lot of money, a lot of time, or do you want to do the PLA codes, LDTs, and that kind of makeshift route? That's the route that we've chosen so far that we can see. Right, for all we know, they could be doing FDA approval at any point now. But, for our understanding, that's what they're doing. Also, this is the key. More people need to know about the availability of these tests and demand that insurance companies consider them for reimbursements. And this is stuff like this that we just talked, that the PR that we got today. These are the sort of things that are going to help more people knowing about the availability of the test and knowing that the PLA codes are out there and knowing that they're going to become effective in a quicker amount of time than you realize. The Saphyr needs to get out there. The awareness and the knowledge of the Saphyr needs to increase. And we can do that. You guys know how we can do that, okay? We need to have more people. Videos like these, Saphyr, BNGO videos, YouTube videos on BNGO, right? I mean, tweets, communities about BNGO, all of this stuff, those things need to start popping off. That's one way that we get more people to know about this. And I'm not just talking about the stop people, but get more people in total. It doesn't have to be esoteric people in the field of optical genome mapping. It can be anyone. Get more people to know about the Saphyr so it's more of a normal thing. That's going to increase sales in the aggregate in a huge way, in my opinion. That's just how it is. There's resistance to change is a thing, man. The phone, when the iPhone first came out, a lot of people were skeptical. It took a while. It took a while for people to fully adopt or adapt to phones. And some people could even say that they still haven't done that, right? Like Gary Vee, maybe. Or maybe he stopped. I think he stopped recently saying that there was going to be, I don't know. Anyways, you see what I mean. I hope you see my point. Now, going on to the PLA codes, I would just, okay, we're talking PLA codes is a big topic here. Remember, these become effective in quarter 4. The start of quarter 4, and they are going to help sales in a huge way, most likely. And we're not going to see the fruit of these for a while, but for people who do the research like you and me, I'm assuming you do as well by watching this, and hopefully you do something else as well. This is how we know the company is on the right track and doing things that give us justification for holding. And this is why we're holding, because we think we're doing good things. For example, the PLA codes. Now, the filings today, you've got about 6 million shares bought by the Russell 2000, the IWM itself. Their average share price is not quite correct there, $85. Not quite correct. Fintel does sometimes have a problem at calculating these when they're coming in, when they're new filings here. But you can see there's a ton of adding. The Russell 2000 Growth ETF added 2 million shares, and I'm guessing a lot of these other ones, just based on the titles, a lot of these other funds track the Russell 2000 and 3000. This is their attempt to track it. They're buying BNGO because these guys bought it. So, that's just my take. But obviously, the institutional ownership is 32% today. We got a great PR. We got this news right here, which, of course, no one cares about any of this stuff. Why should they? That's just how Bionano stock works. But we got great stuff today. Today's a good day, right? Company, stock-wise, we went down almost 3% today. We did exactly what everything else did with us, right? Microvision went down. Nano Dimension, Gevo, they went down. We went down. It's the same old pattern. Don't get mad at me because other stocks go down, please. Or do whatever the hell you want, right? Make your own opinion if you want to blame me for the high growth stocks going down. But the company did well today. We got, or at least from what we can tell, they did. We got great news. And 32% institutional ownership, it's just more. It's just more of the same. It's the same old. More institutions buying and holding. Now, the marketing, one reason why the marketing is important and why we go over the job listings all the time is because this is the stuff that directly impacts the PRs. Like, for example, a virtual presentation at the ESHG. These are the sort of things that are going to help us. When I see a marketing campaign, where's that digital? Let me find that filing. Yeah, digital marketing manager real quick. This job listing right here. Develop Bionano's global digital marketing strategy. That sounds like they're going to be aggressive in trying to get sales and trying to increase their sales. This is why it's important to track this stuff. This stuff is going to be what puts us to gets us to the next level, in my opinion. All right, now so I'll keep that quick. And now going to the revenue and the earnings report recently, I would just say we are still right now below where we are. We closed the day at like 567. And we are way below what we were at, what our stop price was at right after the earnings, or the day of earnings and after earnings. The earnings was on August 4th, so right here. This is where we were on August 4th, about, 590s, 580s. We are still below that, and our company value has increased exponentially. So I just want to remind everybody, remember, the stock, eventually, if the company continues to execute, the stock price will be forced to follow. But I have to remind everybody, we are not moving as a stock like we should, based on the fundamentals and based on what the news is. We're moving, again, I say it all the time, with the other stocks. That's all it is. We're just moving with other stocks right now. So don't be scared if you are long on the company, if you're bullish, if you've done your research and are confident in what the company is doing in the Saphyr and the total addressable market there. I don't think you should worry. Buy more if we go down. Don't, obviously, please do some risk management, please. Have some buying power, or whatever you're doing for your risk management, and put yourself in the opportunity to get the shares if it goes down. But just remember, we're moving with high growth, we're not moving with what we should at all. And for the technical analysis today, I would just keep it short and sweet here. We got rejected at the 21-day SMA. I was really hoping that we would hold above this, and we didn't. We did not. We still have a breakout, right? We still have a breakout above the descending level of resistance, but we fell into another support, and we got rejected hardly, very, very harshly, and we need to break 580 and close above it before we're out of the woods, And I'm not holding because of the hope that we're going to have a good technical setup, hoping because the company, one day, it's my opinion that the long-term models are going to make more in this stock because the company's going to force it. The fundamentals will force it so, in my opinion. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and show you the portfolio. Feel free to check out Newsweek. Feel free to click off. Feel free to check out Newsweek as well, the YouTube and website in the description. Thank you so much, man. I'm still holding, still bullish. I still love what the company's doing. It's as simple as it gets. Thank you so much. It's not Financial Advice. I will see y'all in the next one.